So much money you won't know what to do with it. Let me tell you something, while there is a level of success where the money doesn't just come in, it pours in, where the deposits hit your account so fast you stop checking the balance. Where your only problem is figuring out what to do with all that overflow. But let's be real, that kind of abundance doesn't fall from the sky. It's not handed out, it's earned, and the ones who get there, they think, move, and live differently than the rest. So the question is, are you willing to think on that level, to move like money is chasing you? Don't chase money, become the person it flows to. We live in a world where everyone is chasing money, running faster, hustling harder, grinding longer. It's a rat race, and most people are sprinting in circles, because here's the harsh truth: money doesn't chase the desperate, it chases alignment. You've been told to work harder and grind until it happens. But what if I told you that's not how wealth is truly built? What if money isn't something to chase, but something you attract when you become the person ready to hold it? Let's be clear, you don't get rich by wanting money. You get rich by becoming the version of you who's worthy of it, who's equipped for it, who naturally receives it, not through force, but through alignment. Chasing creates distance. When you chase something, you're telling yourself, I don't have it. And when you believe you don't have something, you radiate lack. You start operating from fear, fear of not having enough, fear of losing time, fear of being left behind. But money doesn't respond to fear. It responds to value, confidence, and clarity. Think about it. When you chase a person, they run. When you chase success, it feels further away. But when you become magnetic, calm, grounded, purposeful, you don't chase. You draw in. You don't need to chase money. You need to become the type of person it naturally flows to. Money follows value, not effort alone. There's a dangerous lie in hustle culture. If I work harder, I'll make more. That's half true. Yes, effort matters, but value creation is the real magnet. The world pays people who solve problems, not just people who sweat, not just people who work long hours, but those who bring solutions, clarity, and results. You want to make more? Don't just ask, how can I work more hours? Ask, how can I become more valuable to others? Because the truth is, you're already being paid in life, in business, in relationships, according to the value you bring. Increase the value and money has to follow. Identity creates income. Your outer world will always reflect your inner standard. And most people's financial limits are internal, not about their skills. Not about the market, but about the identity they carry. If you see yourself as someone who always struggles, guess what? You'll find a way to stay broke, no matter how much comes in. But if you see yourself as a person of abundance, discipline, and expansion, money starts to find you. Opportunities open, doors appear that you never noticed before, because you didn't change the world, you changed yourself. Want more money? Upgrade your self-image. Think like someone who manages millions even before you have it. Why? Because the mind always works to prove itself right. And if you truly believe you're meant for wealth, your thoughts, actions, and habits will align to make it happen. Energy doesn't lie, and money responds to it. Money is energy. It's a current currency, and it flows where belief is strong and resistance is low. Ask yourself, do you believe you deserve wealth? Not just say it. Do you feel it in your bones? Because if you feel guilt about success, shame around charging what you're worth, or fear around being too ambitious, you're blocking the very thing you say you want. Money flows to those who feel safe holding it, confident earning it, responsible multiplying it. So don't just build skills, build capacity. Build the emotional and energetic strength to hold abundance. Because if you're leaking fear, doubt, or insecurity, the universe will hold back what you're not yet ready to carry. Become a magnet, not a beggar. The highest version of you isn't begging for breakthroughs. They're expecting them. They walk with certainty. They speak with conviction. They move with strategy, not stress. They don't say, I hope money shows up. They say, I've positioned myself so well it has to. They don't chase clients, they attract them. They don't fear competition, they dominate their lane. They don't underprice, they overdeliver. This is the shift. Stop moving like someone in need. Start moving like someone who's already valuable, already blessed, already capable. And as you do, money starts to flow. Not because you ran faster, but because you became the version of you it was always meant to find. In conclusion, you don't have to chase money. You have to rise. You have to grow. You have to become. Become the person money trusts. Become the leader opportunities chase. Become the version of you who no longer waits, because the wealth is already catching up to you. All you have to do is stop running and start rising. Let the money come. You've become the magnet. Hustle builds income, systems build wealth. Let's start with the truth. Hustle will get you paid, but systems will get you free. Hustle is the engine that starts the car, but systems are the fuel that keeps it running when you step out. You see, hustle has its place. It's powerful. It's necessary, especially at the beginning. When you're building from scratch, it's hustle that gets your first client, closes your first sale, gets you noticed. But here's the trap. If you keep relying on hustle alone, you'll eventually burn out. You don't want a life where you always have to run just to keep what you've built. You want to create a life where your systems do the running, and you do the living. Hustle is the starter, not the strategy. When you're starting something new, a business, a brand, a dream, hustle is non-negotiable. You've got to put in the hours. You've got to grind when no one's watching. You've got to outwork everyone just to earn attention, trust, and results. But hustle alone is a short-term strategy. You can't scale chaos. You can't expand burnout. You can't build generational wealth by being your own employee forever. So yes, hustle hard, but only long enough to build something worth systemizing. Because if you stay in the hustle phase too long, you're not building wealth, you're building a cage with golden bars. Systems create predictability. What's the difference between someone who's rich and someone who's wealthy? The rich work for money. The wealthy have money and assets working for them. And here's the secret. Wealthy people don't depend on motivation, inspiration, or mood. They depend on systems. A system doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't need coffee. It doesn't need to feel on. It just runs day after day while you sleep, while you travel, while you spend time with your family. It's a content system, a sales system, a lead generation system, an investment system, a delegation system. You want freedom. Build systems that move without you. Your time is not the best investment, let's be honest. If you're doing everything in your business, you're the bottleneck. At some point, it's not about doing more, it's about removing yourself from the equation. Because your time is limited. But systems, they scale. You need to stop asking, how can I do this better? And start asking, how can I build a system that does this for me, better, faster, and with less of my time? This is how businesses grow. This is how entrepreneurs become CEO. This is how income turns into wealth. You're not meant to trade hours forever. You're meant to design something that works even when you don't. Scale requires structure. You can hustle your way to $100K, maybe even $200K, but want to cross 7 figures. Want freedom, leverage, legacy, you need structure. Structure in how you deliver, structure in how you grow, structure in how you manage time, money, and people. Think of McDonald's. You could hate the food, but you can't ignore the system. Any 18-year-old in any country can run the store because there's a process for everything. The real wealth isn't in the burger. It's in the system that delivers it. You want wealth. Create repeatable systems for what you do best so others can run it, scale it, and grow it while you lead it. Freedom is built, not given. Most people think money buys freedom. It doesn't. Systems do. You can have money and still be trapped in a schedule you hate. You can have a business that prints cash, but only if you show up. That's not wealth. That's just high income stress. But when you've built systems, that's when money keeps coming, even when you're on the beach. That's when your content keeps posting, your products keep selling, your team keeps producing without your constant input. That's real freedom, that's wealth, and that's the game you should be playing. Listen, hustle is where it starts, but if you want to go far, if you want to go big, if you want to go free, you have to evolve past hustle. You have to start designing your life, not just grinding through it, Because hustle builds income, but systems build wealth. So keep grinding, but grind with the intention of replacing yourself. Work hard now to earn the right to work less later. Build the machine, design the structure, create the system, and soon you won't just be surviving off hustle, you'll be thriving off wealth. Serve so powerfully they have to pay you. Let me ask you a question. What if you stopped chasing money and started chasing impact? What if your goal wasn't just to be seen, but to serve at such a high level that people feel your presence before you even walk in? Because here's the truth: when your service is powerful, when your value is undeniable, when your work transforms lives, people don't need to be convinced to pay you, they insist on it. In today's noisy world, everyone wants to be paid. But very few people are asking the real question: am I delivering at a level that demands to be paid? Let's go deeper. Stop asking to be chosen, start earning the right. There's a dangerous mindset out there. People waiting to be picked, waiting for someone to recognize them, waiting for a handout, a shout-out, or a breakthrough. But power doesn't wait. Power serves. You don't get paid more by demanding it. You get paid more by being so good they can't ignore you. Be the one who solves real problems. Be the one who delivers outcomes, not just effort. You want to win, stop begging for attention and start commanding respect through results. Solve problems, don't sell products. People don't pay you for what you do. They pay you for the problem you solve. You're not a designer, you create brand identities that attract high-paying clients. You're not a trainer, you transform people's bodies and confidence. You're not a writer, you help brands tell stories that convert into dollars. Whatever your lane is, you need to be clear on the outcome you create. The more valuable the problem you solve, the more powerful the transformation you offer. The more people are willing to pay, and the faster they'll do it. Operate in excellence, not just effort. Effort is noble, but effort alone doesn't lead to overflow. You don't get paid just for showing up. You get paid for showing up with excellence, for delivering with precision, for making your clients feel like they're getting more than they paid for. That's the key: over-deliver. Do it so consistently, so generously, so obsessively that people feel blessed to pay you. You're not average. You're not just another option. You are the only choice, because you do it better, faster, deeper, and with more heart than anyone else. Service that comes from the soul. If you really want to be paid powerfully, serve powerfully. And real power doesn't come from ego, it comes from purpose. When you're aligned with your purpose, your service becomes magnetic. You're not just checking boxes. You're not just doing what's required. You're pouring your spirit into your work, and people can feel that. You're not just building a brand, you're building trust, you're building impact, you're building something bigger than you. That's what makes people say, "I don't care what it costs, I need you." Build a reputation so strong it speaks for you. There's marketing. And then there's word of mouth built on powerful service. When you serve people at a level that shocks them, they talk about you. They promote you without asking. They send others to you like it's a gift to them. That's what happens when your service is unmatched. So don't just build a product. Don't just offer a service. Build a legacy of excellence. Make people say, "I don't know how they did it, but they changed everything for me." When you do that, the price becomes irrelevant, because people don't want the cheapest. They want the best, and the best gets paid. Here's the shift: stop trying to be seen. Stop trying to go viral. Stop trying to convince people why you're worth it. Instead, do this: serve so powerfully they have to pay you. Serve so powerfully they remember your name. Serve so powerfully that payment becomes gratitude, not just a transaction. The world pays in direct proportion to the value you give. So become valuable, deliver the impossible, be unforgettable, not by talking louder, but by serving deeper. That's how you rise. That's how you get paid. That's how you build something no one can take away. Now go serve, and let your excellence speak louder than any price tag ever could. Don't flex the bag, multiply it. We live in a time where the moment someone makes money, they want the world to know about it. New car, designer clothes, that "look at me now" post on social media. And for what? To prove to people who don't even care that you made it. Let's get something clear. Getting the bag isn't the goal, multiplying it is. Because anybody can make money once, but the real ones, the wise ones, they keep it, they grow it. They multiply it until money is no longer a moment, it's a lifestyle. So if you just caught your first win, your first big client, your first 10K month, congratulations. But now comes the real test. Will you flex it or will you multiply it? Flexing is temporary, wealth is long term. Let's be honest, that luxury car, it depreciates the second you drive it off the lot. Those new sneakers, they're not investments, they're just fabric and hype. That designer bag, it might turn heads, but it doesn't turn into assets. Too many people are spending money to look rich instead of learning how to become rich. Flex culture is a trap. It pulls you into ego. It drains your accounts to impress people who aren't even paying attention. But multiplying money, that builds freedom, that funds legacy, that turns one win into 10 because you chose wisdom over ego. Every dollar has a job. Are you putting yours to work? If your money isn't working for you, you'll be working forever. Read that again. You've got to treat every dollar like a soldier. Send it into battle with a mission to bring back more. The wealthy don't just earn money, they assign it. They use it to buy time, to build assets, to plant seeds that grow into streams of income. Ask yourself, when that check hits your account, does it disappear into liabilities? Or does it get deployed into something that produces? That's the mindset shift. Don't spend to feel successful. Spend to expand. Don't flex the bag, multiply it. Wealth is quiet. Let your investments do the talking. You know what's loud. The guy flashing cash on Instagram. You know what's louder. The woman with 7 income streams, silent moves, and full control of her time. Real wealth doesn't need an audience. It's not in your outfit. It's in your options. Can you take a month off and still earn? Can you say no without fear because your bills are covered for a year? Can you sleep peacefully knowing your assets are appreciating while you rest? That's wealth, and that doesn't come from flexing, it comes from multiplying. The flex is being untouchable. The flex is being unbothered. The flex is walking into a room and owning the space without needing to prove a thing. Use discipline now so you don't regret later. Let's be real. Money will test you. When you finally start making it, it's tempting to start spending wildly. You feel like you deserve to enjoy it, and you do. But enjoyment without discipline leads to destruction. There's nothing wrong with rewarding yourself, but you need to earn that reward with smart money moves first. Delay the gratification. Buy back your time. Stack the investments, create cash flow, and once your money is making money for you, then sure, buy the thing, but never at the cost of your future, because the greatest flex isn't what you wear, it's what you own. Turn the bag into a bridge, not a burden. When you multiply your money, you're not just growing your bank account, you're building a bridge to options, a bridge to impact, a bridge for your family, your future, your legacy. Think generationally. Don't just make money to buy things. Make money to change lives, starting with your own. That one opportunity you just landed, that first 6-figure year, that big win, it's not the finish line. It's the foundation. So build with wisdom, move with intention, make decisions your future self will thank you for. Don't flex it, multiply it. Look, you earned the bag, and that's worth celebrating. But don't let the applause make you lazy. Don't let the spotlight distract you from the bigger vision. The flex is temporary, the clout fades, the likes disappear, but wealth, real, multiplied, sustainable wealth, that stays, that compounds, that frees you. So when the money comes in, don't spend it trying to look rich. Invest it to become rich. The goal is not to impress, it's to elevate. The game isn't about showing off the bag. It's about multiplying it until you never have to chase money again. That's the power move. Now go make it. Upgrade yourself until wealth becomes normal. Here's the truth that no one tells you. You don't attract wealth. You grow into it. Wealth doesn't just land in your lap. It rises to meet the version of you who's ready to receive it. If wealth feels out of reach right now, that's not a punishment. It's a signal. A signal that it's time to evolve, to upgrade, not just your goals, but your mindset, your habits, your identity. Because if the old you could create wealth, you'd already have it. The reality is this: Your bank account will never outgrow your mindset. So if you want more, you have to become more. This is not about pretending you're rich. It's about becoming someone who operates at a high level so wealth becomes your normal, not your exception. Wealth responds to identity. You don't earn what you want. You earn what you believe you deserve. If you secretly believe money is hard to make, if you think you're not the kind of person who gets wealthy, if you feel guilty around the idea of charging what you're worth, then no matter how hard you work, you'll subconsciously sabotage your success. You'll keep shrinking, you'll avoid opportunities, you'll settle for less because your inner thermostat is set too low. If you want to normalize wealth, you've got to elevate your identity. Start seeing yourself as someone who builds, earns, leads, and multiplies. Speak it, walk it, move like it's already true, because the mind doesn't wait for evidence. It creates it. New levels require new habits. Wanting more isn't enough. You have to become more. You can't upgrade your income while clinging to the habits that kept you broke. You can't think like a millionaire but act like a procrastinator. So ask yourself, are your habits building wealth or blocking it? Is your routine designed for growth or for survival? Are you spending time or investing it? Wealthy people think in decades, not weekends. They choose purpose over comfort. They create systems, not excuses. If you want wealth to feel normal, you've got to normalize discipline, consistency, and long-term vision. Because success doesn't respond to your goals, it responds to your daily actions. Change your environment or outgrow it sometimes. The biggest upgrade isn't internal, it's external. Your environment shapes your behavior more than motivation ever will. If you're constantly around people who think small, who complain about money, who mock ambition, guess what? You'll unconsciously shrink to fit in. That's why upgrading your life often means outgrowing your circle. It means finding mentors, rooms, conversations, and energy that challenge you to elevate. Because when you're surrounded by people who normalize success, you stop treating wealth like a fantasy and start treating it like a standard. Never apologize for outgrowing environments that keep you average. Normalize growth, not just goals. Everyone loves the idea of success. Few love the process of becoming successful, because growth is messy. It's uncomfortable. It demands that you leave behind versions of yourself that were safe but stagnant. But here's the key. You cannot reach a new reality with the same old identity. So normalize discomfort. Normalize learning. Normalize reinvention. Read more. Take risks. Speak differently. Think critically. Invest in your evolution. Wealthy people don't stop learning. They compound growth mentally, emotionally, and financially. If you treat growth like a lifestyle, wealth will eventually become a byproduct. When you upgrade your mindset, money follows. Money doesn't lead. Mindset does. When you start thinking at a higher frequency, money naturally follows that vibration. It's not magic, it's alignment. You think differently, you show up differently, you price differently, you solve bigger problems, you make better decisions, you respect your time, you stop playing small. And when all those pieces come together, the world responds, opportunities multiply, people take you seriously, your income rises not by accident but by design, because the wealth didn't just show up. You leveled up to meet it. Let this sink in. The wealth you want is already available. It's already circulating. It's just waiting for someone who's ready, not just financially, but mentally. So don't focus on faking wealth to impress others. Focus on becoming the person who naturally creates, attracts, and multiplies it. Upgrade your mindset, upgrade your circle, upgrade your work ethic, upgrade your character, upgrade your life until wealth isn't just a wish. It's the standard, it's your normal, because you didn't just ask for more. You became more.